Alright, so I'm here to listen to some stories about, so there's a lot of movies made here, right? And there, from what I hear, a lot of people used to...
Do you have lunch?
Yeah, can I start with a coffee, please?
Sure, do you want cream?
Yes.
Water?
Yes.
Let me sure bring their ticket to me when they...
I have it.
Okay, thank you.
And the many things.
I've had plenty of things.
So yeah, just kind of want to know what you experienced. You're growing up with the Hollywood industry coming here, making movies all the time. I know that.
Well, we filmed a lot of movies in this country in my lifetime. We started in 1949. A guy named John Ford was the director. He'd been filming down in Monument Valley with John Wayne and Stagecoach, and She Wore a Yellow Ribbon, and Darling Clementine. All them were done in Monument Valley. Ford come back through Moab and seen our country here and decided he wanted to do a movie here. So in 1949, he done a movie called Wagon Master. Ben Johnson and Joanne Drew starred in it. Moab then would get a little town of about 1,000, 1,200 people. So everybody in town worked on that movie that wanted to. Extra, your dogs, your horses, your milk cow, whatever. Because it was a wagon train movie going across the country. So that was our first movie filmed here. Then in 1952, Ford came back again with a movie called Rio Grande, starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. So that was a big deal. Well, it's still one of the better movies today on the channel. They play it all the time. But that was a big deal for Moab too. By then, the uranium boom had hit. So the town was really exploding. We grew from 1,000 people to about 8,600 in 6 months. People flocking in here when Charlie Steen hit the big uranium strike 45 miles south of town there. And so people, when the word got out that he'd hit that big rich uranium strike, everybody from all over the country showed up in Moab going to get it rich like Charlie Steen did. So we really grew about 8,600 people in about 6 months.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ted. So that's the way Moab started. We became a boom town then. And then we became from 53 until in the 60s we become the uranium capital of the world. Produced more uranium ore right here than anywhere else in the world. Right here in the Four Corners area. But the movies caught on, and after 52, when they did Rio Grande, for the next 20 years, we averaged about 2 full-length movies a year here, plus all the commercials we was doing. And then in the 80s and 70s, it kind of slowed down. The movie, big companies quit coming, but all the major companies come, Paramount, Columbia, all of the big movie companies, they all came here and filmed a movie of some kind. So, met a lot of movie stars. Richard Boone, he was here a couple of times. He was the ugliest movie star I thought I ever seen when I worked here. But he was here on a couple of movies. And Harrison Ford was here on a thing one time. Buddy Epson and Beverly Hillbillies, that old man was here on a movie once. Ben Murphy was here. He did a series called Alias Smith and Jones. They filmed about 18 of them series while they was here on that deal.
Were you involved with them? I know you've been a cowboy your entire lives, and they always needed like land or horses or
After
places.
1949, I worked some capacity on every movie we made here. But I was just a kid then that couldn't get in the Union. So from 1949 till 1964, I just worked as an extra and rented them my horses and whatever they needed, but I never could get in as a wrangler or a driver where you made bigger money until 1964. And a man come up here, and he was the head transportation man, and he wanted to hire an old army truck I had, an old surplus truck. But he says, one deal, Tanger, you got to drive it. I said, hell, Mac, I can't drive it. I don't belong to the union. They won't let me join the union until I got a job, and I can't get a job unless I belong to the union. So I said, I don't think they'd let me drive it. He said, you want to join that union? I said, I've been trying to ever since I become 21 years old. He said, I'd make him let you join that union. So we went and met with him. Old Mac told me, I'm hiring Carl's truck and I want him to drive it. I can hear the steward now. He said, well, he said, we can't hire Carl. He said, we got 12 men waiting on the bench to go to work. Mac said, I know, but I put one of them on. He said, every time I want that truck, it'll be broke down. He said, put Carl on it, it's his truck, and he'll have it running. He made him let me join the union. 1964. I quit doing everything for anybody else, working for other people, and the only people I ever worked for in my life for wages after 1964 was the movies. And I got in the union, and of course I was one of the first members of the Moab Film Commission. We started it in '49. I was a member for 51 years. And I'm the one that made the motion that we dissolve it. County clowns, they got thinking they could run it better than we did, so I just made a motion, we dissolved the Moab Film Commission. We did, and they ain't done nothing since. Oh, they're still doing commercials. I think they done one full-length movie since I quit there.
What was the last job you did with them?
Last job I had with them? I'm not really sure, but I think it was a thing called Riders of the Purple Sage. The old Zane Grey. You ever read Zane Grey books? He wrote about 48, 50 books. One of them was called Riders of the Purple Sage. And so this movie company made a movie of that here. And I think that's about the last movie I worked on, as I remember. But anyway, I did that for 51 years. And I had a good experience. Met a lot of nice people from all over the world. Hollywood. Even got to go to Hollywood one time on one movie. I was driving the local motorhome for the dressing room for George Kennedy and Kimberly Ross. They were in the trailer behind the Bo Hopkins and Wings Hauser. They was in the motorhome. That was their dressing room. They had a trailer behind it with George Kennedy and Kimberly Ross's dressing room. That was my job, keeping their dressing rooms clean and being on the set. Anyway, when we got through filming that movie, old Nico, he was a little guy from Greece. He said, Tanger, I want to hire you to drive. They had a big, fancy, new style motorhome. Some company had just built it. And I think Nico got it for advertising to use in this movie. Anyway, he said, I got to deliver that big motorhome back Hollywood. He said, I want you to take it back there for me. I said, Nico, I've never been to Hollywood. I wouldn't even know where to go. He said, I'll draw you a map. And he sat out on the table and he drew me a map from here to Hollywood. The only advice he gave me is, when you get down to San Bernardino, I-15 will intersect with I-10. You'll head north. He says, about 40 miles, he says, that freeway is 5 lanes wide. He said, you'll exit into a tunnel in the 3rd lane in. And he said, don't miss that exit, whatever you do. That's the only advice he gave me. So I drove down there, and when I got to where I-10 and 15 intersected, there's 5 abreast freeway, and they're doing 80 mile an hour, you know. I just pulled off under a street lamp there, went back on the bed and went to sleep. That was about 10:30, 10 o'clock at night. About 2 o'clock in the morning, something woke me up, and I looked out on the freeway. There wasn't one car where there'd been 100 before. So I pulled out on the freeway, had plenty of room. It's well signed, you know. But if you're over here in this fourth lane and you need to exit over here, there ain't no way you're going to get over that through all that traffic. But at 2 o'clock in the morning, everything was quieted down, just a few cars. You know, I read the signs, got over the right. I got in the third lane in, and it exited into a hole in the middle of the road. Went down about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes seemed like. I wandered around about big old cement columns. Ran under there, and pretty quick I shot out on the Hollywood freeway. Went down that little ways and exited on the Sunset Boulevard. Went down Sunset Boulevard, run straight east and west there, and I headed west. Got down there to the junction, Tower Music Company, sat right on the corner, I'll never forget. Sunset and Horn is the name of the streets. So I parked right there. Wasn't nobody around. Went back on the bed and went to sleep again. About 8 o'clock I woke up. Everybody going to work, and I mean, man, that town was a buzzing. So I got on the telephone. I had a number for the office. A little girl named Holly answered the phone. She said, "Well, you're only a block away, Carl," when I told her where I was at. She said, "Just come up Showham, and we're right on the corner." So I got up there anyway and got up in the office finally. That was quite a tour of Hollywood anyway.